everybody, this is Jenna here from Stretch Pilates. I'm one of the instructors and also a biokineticist. And so today I'm going to talk to you about knee rehabilitation. So the knee is a hinge joint, it bends and extends. But the knee is affected by your ankle and your hip. Because the knee is actually quite simple, we need to strengthen up the joint above and below in order to have integrity in that knee joint. So the knee's movement is actually just a byproduct of the ankle's stability and the hip's strength. So the knee does what the ankle allows and what the hip controls. So with that in mind, I'm going to focus on pelvic stability and especially the hip strength in today's rehab session. I have with me a small foam roller to do some releases and some massaging. And then I have two mini bands, one which is a little thinner and smaller, and another one which is a thick, strong band. I have a tennis ball, and then I have a TheraBand in case you don't own any of these, so we can teach you how to use the TheraBand instead. We're going to start by strengthening up the bum muscles, and so I'm going to put this little thin band. Actually what I'll do is I'll use this to show you how you can do it at home. But I'm going to tie the band around my knees and start with some open chain gluteal strengthening exercises. Okay, so I've tied a bow to make it easy to untie, but you can tie a bow or not, whatever. And we're going to lie down with your head supported and your knees stacked one on top of the other and your feet in line with the rest of your spine. I'd like you to engage your abdominals and lift the top knee up and bring it down again. Lift it up and bring it down. So we're trying to squeeze the glutes and activate the bum muscles, but you don't want to roll back and cheat in the movements. So once we've done about 10, we'll move on to another version of gluteal strengthening. So you're going to take your foot up and press the leg up and down. Good. And so you want to keep the knee lower than the foot. And in this exercise, you don't want to roll forward with your pelvis. And so we'll move into a combined movement where you tap your feet and then you move and tap your knees. Tap your feet and tap your knees. And so we need to do 2 sets per side. So for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to do 1 set on one side, but please press pause and do the other side for me now. Once you've done the other side, you're going to come back and do another set on this side and then the other side again. So the next movement is also using the glutes, but we're going to combine hip extension, not just external rotation. So you can choose to keep your band around your knees, or you can upgrade to a thicker band. Go ahead and lie down on your back with your feet the width of your mat. So you need to walk your feet out to the edge. Make sure you're lying in the middle. And then you want to open your knees out as wide as your mat is wide. And keep your big toes pressed down into the floor. You're going to imprint your spine into the mat and pick up your tailbone, pressing the hips up nice and high. Keep the tuck in your tail, keep opening your knees, and then curl the spine down and unravel your bum. We'll tuck that tail, pick up the pelvis, pressing up the hips, squeezing your glutes, and come back down and unravel your bum. Then tuck and imprint and peel up. Curl down, unravel, good. Repeat and lift, come down. So after a while, between 10 to 20 repetitions, we're going to jaw at the top. But you want your glutes to already be cooking. So depending on how much endurance and strength you have in your glutes, you might manage 10 or maybe need to do 20 before you feel it burn. So we're going to go ahead and stop at the top now, tucking the tail and lifting. And then you're going to suck in your tummy, squeeze your bum, open your knees, and pulse 5 centimeters at the top. Pressing the hips up and down, and you're going to do between 10 and 20 here. Keep opening those knees for me, tucking the tail, pressing and pulsing those hips, up and down, opening those knees, tucking the tail, pressing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down and unravel. You need to do another 2 to 3 sets of those. So go ahead, maybe press pause and do your 2 to 3 sets of those. So for the sake of instruction, we're just running through 1 set of each thing. The next exercise is performed in side lying. So you're going to get your knee on the mat and your elbow on the mat, and then straighten the other leg away from you. Take your hand up or behind your head, press your head back into your hand, shove your hips forward, tucking your tail, and then lift your top leg up and down. Lifting, whoopsie, and lowering, get away, lift and lower, lift and lower. Tuck that tail and press that leg back. Keep rolling forward with the top hip, but picking up the bottom hip, pressing your head back into your hands. Good. Once we've done between 10 and 15, you'll go over and do the other side. Next, we're going to release a few things. I've kicked my foam roller away, so next up on the agenda is going to be a tennis ball. You get to lie down with your tennis ball inside the TFL muscle or under the TFL muscle. So it's right here in the crease of your hip. So it's in this little corner and it's underneath. You get to lie down, resting your head on your arm, and you'll keep that tennis ball digging into those muscles, trying to loosen up the top front of the thigh. This is painful, so just hang out here. What you can do to make things a little bit more deeper or more beneficial is creep up by a centimeter or 2, and you'll feel that ball press away the hip. So when working the gluteal muscles and trying to strengthen your glutes, you want to make sure you're not using your hip flexors or the side of your front quad. You want to get genuine bum. So you'll lie here for 30 seconds to a minute. If you feel any numbness or pain down the leg referring aggressively into the knee, that's not right. We want the pain to be localized underneath that ball and to feel like someone's got a trigger point and they're pressing their elbow into the trigger point. Feel free to move around slightly and feel where there are some nasty little trigger points and then rest on those spots for a while. When you come up, you should feel quite a lot of relief in the hip, and then don't forget to do the other side. So we've done some glute strengthening with bands, and we did the kneeling one, which was more closed chain, so that is a little bit more functional. It's in weight bearing. But there are other bum strengthening exercises that you can do that are really functional for you, that mimic activities of daily living. So another one that we're going to do is a band walk. So you'll take your bands that you've now got, and we'll put the bands around your knee and your feet. Good. Standing up, I want you facing forward. Your hips should be like headlights facing forward. We're going to walk sideways. And so I'm going to walk on my tiny mat, but you can walk the length of the whole room. So the thing about band walks is it's not about the leg that's lifting, it's about the leg that's pushing. You got to press and press and press with the side of your bottom, and then go the other way, pressing with the side of your bum. So you're going to do that for 1 to 2 minutes, trying to strengthen the side of your bum bones. All right. So next we're going to release the inner thigh, and the reason that I want to do that is because the muscles of the inner thigh attach just below the knee, and it can be a source of your pain. So we're going to lie on your side and put the foam roller underneath your knee. The foot has to be on the floor, and we want some weight on the leg because the weight of the leg alone is not enough to actually dig deep into these muscles. So you're going to roll out the inner thigh and back in, and roll out that inner thigh. Good. So the focus for this knee rehab tutorial is about strengthening and releasing certain muscles around the hip to allow the knee to track appropriately. It cannot replace strengthening the muscles around the knee itself, but it certainly is an area that needs to have attention. We've addressed in a previous video some ankle strengthening exercises, which I'd love you to do as well. And then make sure that you maintain knee health and strength by doing things like squats or lunges, and try and work on some of the other knee rehab videos that we've done in the past. They have some really valuable exercises in them too. So once you've released both inner thighs, what you do to one side you have to do to the other, you're good to go. This is just a quick little video on some hip strengthening exercises to help you with your knee pain. All the best, guys.